we've got a special guest, longtime viewer, first-time interviewee, Dr. Brian Schaefer, going to join us here at the beginning. Of course, we've got Alicia Pompa here, your Commissioner of Rallies, and we've got Nick and Gary, your ASB President. So we're really excited to have Dr. Schaefer here. I want to thank you, Dr. Schaefer, for coming on and doing this with us. I hope you have a good time. I hope you enjoy it with us.
You bet.
So, Dr. Schaefer, it's really nice to meet you. My name is Nick and Gary, and I'm the ASB president here at Chapter. So I have your first question. So what do you think are the pros and the cons of distance learning?
Wow. First of all, this is my 36th year in education. Before I was superintendent many years ago, I was a math teacher. I don't know how difficult it would be for me to do this. And I've talked to literally hundreds of teachers who they've stepped up to the challenge and they are putting their best foot forward. I just as you have probably heard of, oh, this one teacher isn't doing this right. But I am just amazed at the extra work that many of our teachers are putting in to try to make this environment better for you as students. And also, believe it or not, years and years ago, I was in high school. I don't know what you're going through on a daily basis, because obviously, Nick and Alicia, you represent wanting to be with your peers, wanting to be with staff, and I just can't imagine what you're going through. So with that said, obviously this is the new normal. I think that the things that you as ASB leaders are doing to try to keep some sense of community is key to this. So if there's a positive out of this, you obviously have more time to put forth with trusted people like Mr. Feaster to put forth this type of activity and try to keep the generals united. So there's your positive, but the negative just is, it just is a drag that you're not with your peers, you're not with staff members, you're not getting ready for Friday night's game, whatever that game may be. So that's the part that breaks my heart about distance learning, is that you all aren't with your peers.
All right, we're going to go on to our next question. Thank you for coming on here once again. I'm Alicia Pompa. I'm the Commissioner of Rallies for Shafter High. What tips and or advice do you have for us students during this time of distance learning?
Well, I think the biggest tip that I keep hearing from teachers across the district is give yourself a little bit of time to take a breath. Now, I've heard stories where some teachers maybe still have quite high expectations for the environment that we're in. But I think you as students need to keep the lines of communication open. I think if nothing else, use people like Mr. Feaster, who you have I'm assuming a constant line of communication. Share your feelings with those people and with your teachers and your individual. This is a strange environment. I am aware that many of the students are far more technologically literate than many of your teachers, but still, this is not exactly fun when you think back to your previous years in high school when you were together. But just take a deep breath. Let's try to work together. I'm just so impressed with what you're doing. Try to keep your fellow classmates involved with school. But that's my biggest piece of advice, is let's just work together. I do understand there's a lot of apprehension from various people. But if we start shooting at each other, so to speak, and blaming each other for this situation, that's not going to help us get through it all.
Again, I would just want to thank you for your time. It's greatly appreciated that we can have you here on the show and just answer our questions. With that said, I have your next question. So what life skills do you think students have gained through distance learning?
the other day I was online with some students, and the life skill that kept coming up over and over is, I'm not sure it's necessarily uh, caused just by COVID, but I kept hearing, I'm learning to be more patient. Um, and I think patience will get you a long way. Um, you're going to become a self-actualized adult. You need to understand that you can't probably always get what you want in a timely manner. And for the older people, that's a reference to the Rolling Stones. That's a whole nother story. Um, so you can't always get what you want, but if you're patient with each other, you maybe will get it in the end. Um, so I think that's a virtue, that's a value that we all need more of. And I don't care if you're 14 or if you're 80, we need to be patient with each other. And in these times, um, you as students, you don't get your immediate feedback from teachers like you would maybe in a regular classroom setting. Um, but I also hope adults exhibit patience with students and realize that you may have connectivity issues, you may have other life issues in the way, you may have to feed the dog during government class. That's just a different time in these times. But patience is key.
Is there anything that happened during this distance learning that was actually a bonus that you can think of?
You know, it was hard for me at first to find bonuses out of this environment that we're in, but I I pretty much every day start my day with meetings that start about 7:45 with a group of superintendents throughout the area. And I have met some people. We have reviewed many items from, if you recall, back in March and April, starting with food distribution and Chromebook distribution, hotspots, trying to keep our staff united in strange times. So I think getting to know some of these other superintendents that I knew in a cursory way, but now I'm able to come here to work in a very comfortable environment for me, and get on and uh, do Teams calls or Zoom calls without having to uh, drive time and things like that. So I think when we get back to normal, that I think some of the meetings that we do where before we thought that we would need to be face to face can now maybe be done without all the drive time and the wasted time. Um, to be very candid with you, as superintendent, I don't normally uh, get the opportunity to meet the two of you, for example. So I'm able to get online with students across the district. Um, so that's a positive for me. But again, I don't know of any teacher, and I know of very few students who would rather do it this way than be in person. So I don't want anybody to ever think that I think that the distance aspect of this is a positive compared to what it would be if we were together. Because again, if we're together and we get to see each other and read each other's body language, I think we get to know each other in a better way.
So, Dr. Schaefer, I have your final question. So, what's one thing that you miss the most, like about a normal school year?
People, um, like we have a we have a fairly big office. From down at the west end of the building is human resources, and at the east end of the building is our business division, and then there's people all along the way. I'm known for walking the building, and quite honestly, there are very few people left in the building, and um, and even those that are here, you walked by, you say hello, but you don't spend time in proximity, even if we're wearing a mask. So I miss people. I miss the hearing about, hey, did you hear that Nick scored the winning basket the other night? I miss the interaction, talking to the secretaries and other people in the building about what's going on in life. So I miss people.
Well, I think we can all echo that. I think everybody misses people currently right now in these distance times, and no one really likes talking back and forth this way. We'd much rather do it in person. Actually, I have one question for you. I ran into you, and I don't know if you didn't know. I saw you at California Fish Grill right there with the old Mexicali. So I want to know what you had, and was it good or bad? Let us know.
So I'm assuming you must have had a mask on, because I didn't recognize
I had a mask
you.
on, went right by you. I had mine was to go. I called it in, got it really quick, and I knew it was you, so I didn't want to interrupt you. But what'd you have, and was it good or bad?
I had the fish and chips. I've only
Okay.
been there once, so that was that day. I had the fish and chips, and it was fine. I don't know what my expectations were, but maybe my expectations were a little higher than what I experienced. How's that?
Okay, hey, fair answer. I haven't had the fish and chips. I will admit I ate there 3 days in a row. Very good grilled fish. I have not had the fried fish though, so
Okay.
I highly recommend that for you.
Okay, Mr. Feaster, I'm going back then.
Go back, get the sea bass. The sea bass is amazing.
So the next time I go, I'll make sure that when we get back to normal, you're down here for an AD meeting or something. We'll go together.
There you go. I'd love it. Hey, I want to thank you again for coming on. We really appreciate it. We know you're super busy. We know there's a lot going on right now. But thank you very much on behalf of us here at Chapter High and the ASB. It's truly a pleasure, truly an honor. And we hope to have you back sometime, hopefully when it's normal and we can actually do this in the studio and you can come on in with us.
That'd be wonderful. You all have a wonderful day.
Hey, you too. Hey, Scotty, go ahead. Let's give us some advertisement.
What's up, Generals? My name is Malik Hayes. I'm your ASB Secretary and this year's Yearbook Editor-in-Chief. I'm here to remind you that yearbooks are on sale for $80, and seniors, don't forget, senior ads are still on sale until November 13th. Don't forget to buy one. You can order them online at jostens.com. And if you have any Halloween pumpkin carving photos, or you in your Halloween costume, or any pink out photos, and if you're in band, ASB, or color guard, we need your photos too. And lastly, if there's anything you cannot live without, we would like you to share that with Yearbook. You can check that out on your Google Classroom, check your emails, follow our Instagram page right here, and don't forget to submit your photos. We really need them. It'd be really helpful. Thank you, Generals, and have a...
Next Wednesday, November 11th, there will be a virtual Veterans Day celebration to honor our veterans. Make sure you keep an eye out for the link on Twitter, your Canvas dashboard, or in Chapter High 101.
Hello, Shafter High School Generals. It is me, Jensen Boy, and I'm here to tell you guys a little bit about if you are interested in careers in the military, or if you even want more information on what the military can offer you, then next Tuesday, November 10th, from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m., there is going to be a military information webinar or a military information little session. You can get the link through your Chapter High 101 or on the Canvas dashboard. So please make sure you go out and RSVP today for one of those, for that time spacing to just learn more. You know, it's no commitment. It's just a way for you to learn a little bit more about what the military can offer you and what you can offer the military. So if you want that great opportunity to just learn more, get a little bit more knowledgeable on the subject, and if you've ever been interested in military service, then I think it's really important for you to sort of just find out what it's all about and find out what they can offer you. It doesn't hurt anyone. It doesn't hurt you. So make sure you just RSVP. Remember, that is in the Chapter High 101 page, or it's on your Canvas dashboard. So make sure you do that. It is November 10th again from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m.
Do you like telling stories? Do you like being imaginative? Do you enjoy writing? Well, I'll tell you what, Mr. Morrison has a new creative writing club that is starting soon. If you are interested in getting involved with it, you can email him at kevinmorrison@kernhigh.org, or you can text at SHS610 to 81010 for the Remind app. Okay? Hey, we all need some opportunities to blow off a little steam and relieve a little stress, and writing's a good way of doing it. So get a hold of Mr. Morrison.
And we're back. That was interesting. Our very first guest, we got the big guy himself. We got the superintendent of the Kern High School District. That was pretty awesome. We want to again thank you, Dr. Schaefer, for coming in. I don't know if you guys really know, but they do a lot of work down there. I know right now, like he was saying, patience is a virtue. I know they've got to have a lot of patience too, because I know there's a lot dealing towards them and teachers and kids and parents and community. So that was really cool. You guys did an awesome job with that interview.
Yeah, so one of the topics that we really wanted to discuss today was time management now that conditioning has started. And I know personally as an athlete, your time is cut down a little bit because now you have more responsibilities. Not just that, but you're done with practice and you're sore and you're tired, and just finding the will to just do your work after after a hard workout, I know is pretty tough. And I know if we continue, you just have to get used to it. You just have to learn when you should do your work, and just make sure you get adequate sleep in order to perform on the field or on the court and do your work in class. Because not only are we athletes, but we're student athletes.
Alicia, are you having that same issue that, Dick brings up a great point about time management now and conditioning, and it's kind of been a theme again we've talked about with other issues and timing and too much work and not enough work, but now you throw this extra layer on out there. I know you're an athlete. Are you struggling with the same thing or hearing the same things from friends?
Actually, personally, I am struggling because I have a job, so it's difficult for me to have a work schedule and then also have my school schedule along with volleyball now because I'm a volleyball player. The first 2 days of conditioning I actually missed because I was at work. So I'm definitely gonna have to figure out the time management and what I need to do to both be at work and perform for conditioning.
Yeah, I can only imagine it's got to be rough trying to deal with that. Um, so we actually had some technical difficulties earlier, and there he is. The Red Rifle himself is back. Tyson Dozier, our other commissioner of rallies, he had to actually leave. We're limited here on the site. We only can have 4 at once, and Dr. Schaefer had to take a spot, and he drew the short end of the stick, so he was out. But Tyson, they're talking about conditioning and time management. What do you feel? You having that issue too? Or what are you hearing about? It looks like Tyson's froze. Looks like we may have lost Tyson. This is just our first real technical glitch here. Well, he was speechless by that question. Apparently, it just really shocked him. That's all we can say about that. Hey, it's live television. It happens. So, we're kind of recapping a lot of things in your topics. Distance learning clarity is going to be a topic we're going to discuss probably every week just because we have it. Conditioning, as you guys know, this is Thursday, so this is going to be our 4th day of it going on. We just had the elections going on, and speaking of patience, I think Dr. Schaefer, what he's saying as a country would probably be a good lesson to go through right now. Just patience of what's going to happen, not the instant gratification. So we talked about this before. You guys, as kids, what the elections has gone on. It's still going on. Newsflash, I'm going to break it to you just so you guys don't catch us. We do record on Wednesday, even though we show it on Thursday. But what do you got going on, Nick and Alicia? What are you guys hearing out there? How do you guys feel going through not knowing the answers? We don't know the results yet, unlike the presidency. So how does that affect you guys? What do you guys think about that?
I think right now there's just a lot of anxiousness and just worry about a lot of tension, especially right now that it's coming down so close to a couple states. I feel like a lot of Americans are really watching the news and the polls and just waiting to see the results of the election.
Yeah, I agree with that. Alicia, what are you hearing, or what do you feel?
I think it's honestly very nerve-wracking to know that like our next president is going to be here within like a couple of days. And for us high school students, we truly don't get to vote for our next president. We don't get to vote for our rights as we go into these next 4 years because we're not at the age to vote yet. So knowing that the people of the United States, our future is like in their hands because they're the ones voting and we can't is also nerve-wracking. So I'm just hoping for a positive outcome, whichever way it goes.
Yeah, I think everyone's kind of just hoping for a pause. I think everyone's probably just wanting it over. They're tired of it. I think that's one thing. I think campaigning that never seems to stop. Whether side you're on, I think you're kind of rooting deep down. Even if your person you're rooting for loses, you're just like, oh, it'll take a breath, sigh of relief that it's just kind of done. And I think it goes back to what like Dr. Schaefer said. I think even at distance learning, if the country could only just learn that patience through the election time right now, we'd probably be better off. We all just take the deep breath, get through the process, and know that we're bigger than one election and we're one country and we're going to be fine when it's all said and done, no matter who wins. We're America. We're the greatest country there is. Funzy. Okay, Halloween. We know we had last weekend. What'd you guys do? You guys are high school kids. I hope you didn't go trick or treating door to door. But if you did, it's fine. You can admit it here. It's just us. But what'd you guys do for Halloween?
See, for me personally, it was more of like a chill, laid back Halloween. I just hung out with friends and family and just enjoyed their company.
Okay.
We live on a highway now, so we don't get trick-or-treaters. We didn't even get trick-or-treaters last year when we could trick-or-treat. So we decided to go to my grandpa's, and we just spent some quality family time together and just hung out and watched some scary movies.
That's awesome. Really cool. Okay, last question before we go. It's been a trend of ours. What you got going on this weekend? What are we doing? What got any plans for this weekend?
Yeah, Saturdays are for the boys every weekend.
Okay, Alicia, what do you got?
Nothing that I know of. I'm probably gonna end up cleaning my room. Oh, actually, I have to work. So,
Okay.
I'll be working.
So you had cleaning your room or working. Both of those sound like a gangbusters of fun.
Most definitely.
Yeah, that sounds like a great time. On the other hand, this weekend, I have no plans that I know of, but as a married man, that doesn't mean anything. I could have a whole bunch of plans I'm unaware of. So this reminds me to go ask my wife when we get home today to say, hey, what am I doing this weekend? And I'm sure she'll be able to tell me. I want to thank you guys as usual. You guys are awesome. Tyson, this is probably the best show Tyson's ever been on because he didn't say a word. He just got froze up. We want to thank Dr. Schaefer. Dr. Schaefer, you're amazing for coming on. We really do appreciate it. We know how busy you are. We've got Scotty over there doing great things as usual. And we look forward to seeing you guys next week. If you guys got any topics, let us know. Email Mr. Feaster. Email one of the kids. Reach out to us. We appreciate you. We love you. We look forward to seeing you. Generals, keep up the good work, and we'll see you next Thursday.